Alright everybody, it's time for a little more Shitz N Grinz. Although we're not going to be crapping or grinning. What I wanted to cover basis with everybody is how I dial in these push buttons. This one here is a radio from a subscriber in Maryland. And he wanted me to check out his work and figure out why some things were working and other things weren't. Well, long story short, two tubes were bad. He doesn't have a tube tester, and so I checked out the tubes and made adjustments to it and did a very good job on it. And although he doesn't go as far as I do, but he did. I mean, this is his radio, and I always say, you know, you do what you want with your own radios. If you want to tear them all the way down like I do, you're welcome to it. And if you need assistance, I'm always here to help. So I did a quick alignment, checked the alignment on the thing, brought it back into spec, and what this video is about is how to set up these push button, these electronic push button adjustments on the radio. On this particular radio, they're hidden behind the bezel in a removable cover. You have these stems that stick out with a flat spot on the end. And you have these nuts down here at the base where the trimmers are, and the posts are for your oscillator and the nuts are for your antenna adjustment, to bring in your antenna. What I use is one of these little gizzy things that's a handle to one of the other to a different type of alignment tool. I think these are mostly for TVs or something. And I put a little slit in it, and that handles the flat spot of the posts. And then I use a regular nut driver, 1/4 inch, and slip it over the nut and make the adjustment to the antenna trimmer. So what should happen when you're all done is you see this post right here. This is the first one. This is for this button. The next one is for the next button, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, until you're all down to the bottom. The first one will be the shortest one on your dial, anywhere from 55 to maybe 70. Next one is going to be from about somewhere inside of that to outside of that. Step it forward and forward and forward until you reach the high part of the dial. If you have more than 5 stations, well, then you're going to have to dial the ones in by manually. So what you're going to be seeing then, once you got the adjustments made, you're going to see, here's the first one, there's the second one, there's the third one, fourth one, fifth one. You see how they kind of all step, they're like stair-stepped. This one's out a little farther than the first one, that one's a little farther than the second one, that one's a little farther than the previous one, and that one there is going to be, the last one's going to be the furthest one out, if you go that way. What I've set these for is for radio stations in Virginia, where the owner lives. What I do is I get on the internet and I find out what stations are available in his area. And I do this mostly, I generally do try to get this done for every radio that goes out the door here that I do. If it's got electronic tuning. If it's got mechanical tuning, like some of the Silvertones, I do the same thing, except I dial in manually the area on the thing, and then I do it per the instructions for the mechanical buttons. I use my SIG gen along with my freak counter, and like for this first one, 570 AM. It's a talk radio in Maryland. I have 570 dialed in. Listen to him fizz. Okay. Now, Jim, how in the hell did you get these stations? Well, I got them off the internet. Like I said, over here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this with the reflections and everything, but I'll try to get a good shot of it. Let me zoom in just a little bit, choose my jumbling around. Here is all the stations that are on the AM band in Maryland, or his location of Maryland, from 1600 all the way back to 570. Previous to that, up here in this list is all the FM stations that you'll find in his area. So, and you can do that with any. All you need is either a city and state, or you can use a zip code. I know where the radios are going that go out the door here. All I do is look up the city and state or the zip code, and I go to the listing on the AM band, and I got all the ones in there. Now, you can see here, it says talk, sports, news, talk, regional Mexican, probably Hispanic, Spanish hits, religious, Ricka Frecka, and a Booga Fika. So you know, you can find anything you want at Alice's restaurant, except for Alice. So what I've done is I picked out all the ones here. Mostly are going to be talks or sports. I don't think he's around my age, so I don't think he's interested in Spanish music or Asian music or gospel or whatever like that. So I try to get the news talk, adult hits, or news talk, or sports, or talk radio. So what we've done over here, excuse me while I zoom you out again. Here I've got 5 station numbers or frequencies: 570, 980, 1120, 1390, and 1580. Covers the broad spectrum of the band. This here's talk, sports, news and talk, and more sports. Sports, shorts. So by the time you get down here, you start at the top, shortest part of the thing, you're going to have the shortest stem sticking out. Dial in your thing. I set this up on each one. 980, 1120, and well, all I do is I bring the hot lead up around the little box area for where the coils are, and I make the adjustments to them, in or out as needed. On this particular radio style, the first one, since it's going to be 570, it's going to be the shortest stem. The next one's going to be a little bit longer. The next one a little bit longer, and the next one a little bit longer. Don't forget to dial in your antenna trimmer to trim it out. Get it to the loudest sound you can get out of it for the clarity Your oscillator will be dialed in to the clearest sound you can get out of it, and then go on there with your nut driver and adjust that antenna nut for the for the loudest signal you can get. So let's see. You've already been demonstrated on the other one, so the third button should be at 1120. So let's switch this up here to, and we'll go back down to if you're going to use one of these old SIG gens, you got to have one of these free counters. Otherwise, you could be way off a couple of hundred hertz, and that's smart. 1120, 1120. Come on, there we go. Okay, that's close enough. 1120. So that'd be this. Let me switch this on so we know where we're at. We'll come over here. We'll hit the third button. There we are. So once you get your first one dialed in, you see where it sits, and then each one of the other ones are going to be a little farther out, a little farther out, a little farther out. So there you go. So now that, and you can do that for any of those other things. I started doing that on all these radios that have push buttons, because not everybody understands how the procedure to do it. Now, some radio documentation that goes out of here may have the push button adjustments described in their documentation. I try to include it with the video if possible, or a link to one that will help provide the information needed for making the adjustments to your radio. If you don't like the radios that you get, if you don't like the radio stations that I plug into the thing, you can go back later and do what you need to do. Just dial the station in that you like, listen to what the programming is, activate the push button, put it in push button mode, and then adjust your stem to the same programming that you just heard in the manual mode, and then adjust your antenna trimmer to the loudest setting, and you're done. So that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish out this radio for the subscriber, and then we're going to get it reboxed and ready to ship out of here this coming week. So I did another radio just like this, same model, for him last week, so or the week before that. So I mean, he's got a few of these. He also bought one from me, and so he's stacking them up. Another subscriber has just sent me his and everything, so everybody wants to rule the world. Yeah, they enjoy these radios, and they want them to look good and to play good. That's why they send them to me, because I've showed them what I do, and they know that well, they can trust that I will do the same for them, and I do, the best of my ability. Your results may vary. So I mean, that is going to be pretty much for this video segment. I'm going to process this, get it uploaded today sometime. Yeah, okay, now where did you find this, Jim? Okay, well, what I've done, here it is, radiolocator.com. Just go to that location right there, Just type in radio-locator.com, and what you'll get is the home page for this, and then you'll see radio-locator.com, and you'll see a place up here, city, state, and find by call sign, or you can use a I believe you can use a zip code. So just do that, and you'll find every radio station, and what it will give you. See if I can zoom in a little bit tighter and keep focus. This one here, we're on the FM now. On here, it shows you signal strength compared to where the location you're looking at. It's going to be 3.4 miles from that location, and it's a good strong signal. See the little meter arrow pointing way up high and the thing? There's one pointing right in the middle, one pointing down low. That's out almost 30 miles. This one here is 40, almost 46 miles, and it's got a little stronger signal. And it'll tell you what it is, and give you the programming on it. And then there's a little something here. I don't remember exactly what the hell the first column is for, but anyway, that's how I find these stations. So I hope you got something out of the video. I hope you like it. Give it a like. Subscribe if you can. Set your notifications to all on your subscription page, and that way you'll be notified every time I upload a video. Like I said before, every radio that I purchase off of a website, I don't keep. I sell them all. I don't keep nothing, because the radio doesn't exist if you keep it in your little private stash and nobody else can doggone benefit from it. I want my name out there, and I want people to enjoy what I do. Let me see. I got an Emerson in that I purchased last week, or a week before last, to give you a little clue of what's coming up later. Here is the RCA that I'm currently working on, and I'm trying to get straightened out. This one here is a Silvertone 6420, I think it is. I don't know. It's got a busted up front. Jeebus, you look your frickafax, and it's got a busted up lens in the glass in the dial window, and it's kind of pulled a little bit there. I'm going to have to maybe do a little stretching to it, patch up work there, and get a new glass for it. Hopefully it doesn't slide into any tracking or anything like that. I may have to just adapt that over to something else. This here, I'm going to have to recreate that somehow. I think there's supposed to be 5 holes in here for the, and they, they didn't quite pack it quite good enough. And remember what I said, everyone that I get off of a website, I always leave a message for the seller. Please package this item for rough shipment, as this shipper has damaged my radios in the recent past. And then that will be up to them to make sure it's packed good enough, because if I get it on my doorstep and I go to open it up and it's busted up, and it's not that way in the pictures, you're going to be kicking yourself in the rump, as well as my foot. And I get a lot of these radios for a cheap cost, because they don't do that. You're going to give yourself some backup, Otherwise, if they say, hey, no problem, send it back. Okay, it'll go right back in the box, same way you packed it for me, and I'm sending it back to you, and I'm getting a full refund, including my shipping. The other way, well, how about if I give you 50% of the cost? And no, you're gonna give me full price. I'll suffer the shipping. You're going to eat the shipping because you didn't pack it the way I asked you to. So, there's that. And guess what, everyone? And I swear, this is the last thing that I'm coming up with. I just got a radio in yesterday, and I'll give you one guess as to what it is. That one there is a 529 from another subscriber. He wants that dolled up and refinished. Here's the one. Another Westie 161. This one here, it has its issues. Yeah. It was not packed very good, but it was packed good enough. I knew it was in kind of a rough shape. I got it for a cheaper price than what was offered on eBay. It is a little bent up there on the frame work for the dial backing and everything, and it's got dust bunnies everywhere in it, and the speaker cone is completely shot. That is an 8-inch speaker, but I've got cones that will fix it. So I mean, this is going to be the 8th one, I think. I've done 7 other of these in various finishes. This one here is going to be done in the same fashion. Break it apart, set it down, redo it, tighten it up, re-glue it up tight, refinish inside and out. Fortunately, that dial glass is robust. I mean, it is seriously robust. I haven't had one break on me yet in shipment. So it's gonna be a winner soon. So that's what's going to be on my plate. I am going. I got a date tomorrow with my butt doctor. cover what I did, what happened during the colonoscopy and everything. So we're going to wind that up, and then the following week on the 4th, I think on Wednesday, the first Wednesday of next month, I got to go in for another Turb T. You know, one thing I got to say about these Turb Ts, and I've had 2 already. One that I had the catheter in for 3.5 weeks. Another one I had the catheter in about 10 to 12 days. This one I'm only going to have it in for about 7 days, maybe less than that. I've been able to pee like a 20-year-old, and with no real surgery to my urethra Franklin. So that's going to be on the plate for the next week and a half or so. So we're going to be working hard to get that RCA finished up. Keep it you make a frick-a-frack. I don't know if you noticed it, but that's its cabinet up there with a clamp on it. So, and it's got 2 sessions of stain on it, and 4 coats and 2 coats of aqua coat. I should say 2 coats of aqua coat, 2 coats of clear poly, sanded down back to almost raw wood to get the low lights in it, and then restain, and we got 2 coats of clear poly again on it. So gonna try to get that wound up and out the door before I go in for surgery again. Thanks a lot, people, for letting me bend your ear. Hope you got something out of it. Like, subscribe, set your notifications so you'll be notified of when I do something on YouTube. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your experiences are. Or tell me what you think I should do. I mean, yeah, I'll try to get back to you. So, enjoy the rest of your Sunday.